morning. Um, so, Sleepy Joe Biden is saying that everything is Putin's fault. All the inflation, gas prices, your retirement going down by thousands of dollars a day. That's all Putin's fault. Last month, it was all COVID's fault. Seems like it's Joe's fault. Up until COVID, we had the best economy. America had the best economy ever, and therefore everybody benefited. Everybody in the free world. Joe got elected, and within months, he signed more executive orders than any president had ever done in that short of a time span, and had signed more than some presidents did in 4 years in like 2 months, and crippled the economy with all those policies, destroyed all the Trump policies in order to save an environment that they're destroying. Right? They talk about the fucking environment all the time. But everything that they do as a solution is worse, never better. And anything that comes out that's better, they hide. We've had water cars and free technology for my entire life. 40, well over 40 years. And we've had it well over that, right? The first water motor was invented in the same year as the first gas engine. They were invented at the same time. They chose gas because it was easier to deal with, but really it was just because it was financially better for them. So then we went down this gas road. Since then, there's been at least 4 different water cars engines that I know of. One, Stan Myers, that just converted gas engines into water engines by changing the fucking spark plugs and the fuel and the ground wire. That's it. And then all of a sudden, you're driving a water car. And then you could put your exhaust into your gas tank and just go forever. Tesla came up with a Tesla coil that converts static electricity into electricity. The same time Edison invented electricity, and they chose Edison's because it was financially better for them. And then you people go out and vote and argue about which one's more trustworthy or less trustworthy or what. Are you fucking totally retarded? It's so frustrating to think about. How could you be that stupid? It fucking boggles the mind to try to come down. Even before I was totally awake, I was awake enough to know that that whole system is a scam and has been forever. There was never fully good since like Abraham Lincoln, you know, and then, but even way before Lincoln, there was that enemy of America trying to destroy us. Andrew Jackson defeated them, pushed them out of America, made the third national bank or whatever, and and kept the international bankers out of America totally for his lifespan, and then he died Woodrow Wilson took office, and he signed over America, and there hasn't been an America since then. JFK tried, Abraham Lincoln tried to take it back, but they both were assassinated. Do you remember them? The reason they were assassinated was because they were trying to do the same thing Andrew Jackson did. It wasn't because Abraham was freeing slaves. That just propaganda. Like that was a side note that happened to happen as well, and very intentional. Abraham Lincoln had personally witnessed lynching, and it changed him forever. And so he definitely wanted to end slavery, but his goal was to end the banking system. He wanted to make greenbacks, which is an American dollar based on gold, and kick the international bankers out of the country. And his quote was, "I have two enemies, one the Northern Army at my front, and the bankers at my back, and the ones at my back are the stronger and worse ones." He won the war that was in front of him against the South. It was that war that killed him, that he lost. And then JFK signed the same executive orders that he was going to kick out the Federal Reserve and start making American money and pay off their national debt and everything. And quickly was assassinated as well. Um, so for you people to think that there's anything righteous or good left in politics anywhere in the world is absolutely retarded. And chances are, if there were, our side would be against them. We'd want to kill them. We'd be told that they were evil. Look at Muammar Gaddafi, Libya. We were told that man was evil. We sent the American military in, assassinated him, drug his body through the streets. He had eliminated interest. You weren't allowed to charge interest on loans and on houses and stuff like that. If you wanted to open a farm, the government just gave you all the equipment and you just had to pay them back the principal. You didn't have to pay back interest. And they'd give you the land and everything, set you right up. If you wanted to go to school, it was all free. If you wanted to go to school and all the schools in the country were full and you couldn't get the courses that you needed within Libya, the government would pay for you to go to a different school in a different country and pay fucking, I think it was $25,000 a year, and that was a lot of money back then, for your living expenses that you didn't have to pay back at all. That list went on and on and on and on and on. The things that he was doing were amazing. Libya was an amazing country, doing great, and the economy was boosting right up through the roof. They were looking really good, and now you can go buy an adult male for $200 American in Libya. You can buy women and children, but they're a little more expensive, $500. Now that was in 2017, and I'm sure because of COVID, they'd cost more now. It'd probably be $300 for a man, and maybe 6 or 7 for a woman or a child. But you can still go buy them and own them, and they're yours. They're your slaves. And so that's your government. That's what you guys do. That's what we do as a people. That's our great contribution to the fucking world. Now, Putin's a fucking crazy, weird psycho, it seems, but you can't trust anything you see on TV, obviously. It's so frustrating because people still fucking buy it right up. Even with... How do you... Okay, the 2016 election happened, and there was all that shit about Trump and Russian collusion and all that shit, which was all bullshit. People still say it's true to this day, my family. I gotta argue with them all the time. And they still say that Hillary's good person or whatever. Like my sisters and stuff think that she should have been elected, that it would have been better for the world or whatever. We'd been here 8 years ago if it was Hillary. I hope you realize that. But they needed Trump because they had to give a lot, put people into this really good situation, and then pull the rug out from under us in order to get more intelligent people as angry as the stupid people. The stupid people were angry that Trump won. Like they were already, duh, fucking angry, we lost. Well, stop your fucking whining. Like, you guys cheated in the 2020 election. More dead people voted, like thousands in every fucking country or in every state, and then a bunch of non-addresses all voted, and all these were Democrat voters that were discovered. I don't know. Go do an investigation, Democrats. See if you can show us some ballots, some addresses, things from conservative sides that were fake, that were obviously illegal, like that were dead people, or that were go to the address and it's a street corner in between two highways. That's actually a thing. Look it up. It was on Louder with Crowder. They went around and looked for all these addresses of people in the city, of voters, and like a whole whack of them in one city were fake addresses, double the same person voting twice from different addresses, and then dead people like crazy. But it was the safest election ever in the history of American elections. And you fucking people believe that shit. You don't go out and look at the other side of the argument. Only a fool looks at one side of an argument and makes up his mind. So I watch what CNN says. It's so fucking hard. So hard to listen to them. Because they're like the epitome of the stupidity that frustrates me in you people. But they know better. They know that they're doing it just to fool you. They're not doing it because they're stupid. They're doing it because they think you're stupid and they know they can get away with it. I just can't even wrap my brain around being that dumb that you would think that sleepy Joe Biden even knows what he's talking about. Like, he resembles my stroked out father so much. It says the same things, walks the same way, makes the same mistakes with his language and stuff like that. Like, it is so similar. It's disgusting. And Joe was a shill puppet before his whole life. He's never had a real job. And any other job in the world, he'd have been forced to retire 15 years ago. Think about that. So, because it would be unsafe for someone of that age to be in a work environment, just in case, you could make a lot more mistakes mentally. You're not there anymore. There's a good chance, let's say, at 65, we retire people. And so, no, you could fall, you could hurt yourself, you could hurt somebody else, you could break bones easier. And you can forget things easier and lose your train of thought and forget where you were going, what you were doing, where you're at. Who knows? But that shouldn't be the leader of the free world. There should be a limit on how old you can be and be president. Like, if you're over 70, you're a liability. So, yeah, Trump's a liability too, right? Though, look at Trudeau. He's no fucking better. He's worse. Because he's stupider. He is actually stupid. They're just telling him what to do, and he's just stupid and enjoying it. That's all. He's just out enjoying life and having a great time and partying and painting himself black and dressing up in all kinds of costumes. You see him in every country he goes to. He dresses up as something different and goes out and dances and does some fucking embarrassing thing. He's an embarrassment to the whole country. And then he doesn't know that water doesn't come in a juice box. So he's totally out of touch with the world and reality. Like, well, me and my family drink our water out of those little boxes that water comes in. You poke a straw in, those things. And it's like, man, you're talking about a juice box? This water doesn't come in a juice box. You fucking moron. It's called juice box because it's juice in there. That's the word you're looking for. Which goes to show you how easily he would lie. Like, he was obviously lying. He's never seen a juice box full of water before. That's a lie. He's never drank water from anything but a bottle in his fucking life. And then he was just trying to bullshit people to make himself look good and try to relate. Oh, I relate to you guys. I drink water out of the same things that you guys drink water out of. Those little things that I have no idea what they're called or what they look like or what's inside them. That stuff. What the fuck? How can you be that stupid? It is so frustrating to watch. And I was fooled in my younger years going through school and stuff. I thought all the things that you guys thought. I didn't believe anything in the Bible. I thought outer space and fucking round earth and water could bend and curve and fucking, even though I was a carpenter and I used water to level everything I fucking built and made parking lots and everything else with fucking equipment and always used levels for water and filled hoses with water and fucking used levels for over miles and around corners and all kinds of shit, and it's always water and it's always perfect, so it can't be bent at some point. No, it would be bent at every point. It would always have that indiscrepancy in it, and nothing would be perfectly level. But even then, I knew enough not to trust politicians. I knew our system was broken. I knew it was just a scam. And I knew that it was being torn apart from within. And that all these politicians were bought and paid for. Right? And even 9/11, the day of, I was a fucking high school kid or whatever. And immediately knew that those 3 buildings didn't fall from being hit by 2 planes. Sorry, it didn't happen. Nope. I knew the buildings fell, the people died, all the tragedy happened. But the story behind it was a lie. The narrative was a lie. And obviously, the IDs of the terrorists who were flying the plane that blew up the building, the paper IDs were found the same day and weren't destroyed. That's the craziest, stupidest, fucking moronic thing I've ever heard in my life, and you guys are stupid for believing it. Every fucking one of you. Just gullible, stupid assholes. And they've destroyed everything since 9/11. Like travel and fucking everything. Restricted everything. And all you guys just back them up. Oh, we have to do this. Oh, it's the best thing for us to make sure that, nobody fucking steals a plane again. And that the military was doing an exercise of if that exact same scenario was to happen that day, so that they were all confused and didn't react properly to this scenario that was happening because it was also the exercise of the scenario that was supposed to be happening on the same fucking day. And the third building imploded perfectly. No plane, no nothing. These two fell and then this one fell. And these two were built to be hit by multiple planes and to withstand impact of multiple planes hitting the buildings multiple times simultaneously. Kamikaze. Like the Japanese have been doing that for a long time. Like that's nothing new. So when they made the trade centers, they thought of that. This could be a problem. These are an easy target to fly a plane into. Let's build them so that you can fly a plane into them and it won't destroy them. I just don't get it. How do you buy that? I guess it's the same way that a mother with a bad son, and the son comes home hungover, partied all night, and says, "Oh, I was helping my friends get unstuck and saving cats from trees all night, Mom." And she's like, "Oh, I got such a good boy." That's you guys. Every one of you. Yeah, he's fighting in the war, off to the war, and he's a good boy. He's not in prison or raping a little girl, whatever. Fuck. And that is what they did. Like, we just busted them for massive fucking child molestations and fucking shit like that Epstein thing. The Clintons were all over that, you know? And people still think, oh, Hillary's the best girl ever. She was so sweet. I actually thought Hillary was the Antichrist because Christ was a man, so the Antichrist should be a woman. Which stands to reason. I'm going to be the opposite of Christ. In order to be the opposite of Christ, you would have to be the opposite sex. So that's who I'm looking for as the Antichrist, is definitely a female. But I don't think it'll be Hillary. She's low level. It'll be somebody in the Rothschild family. And it'll be a Jew. A white Jew, an Edomite. And I don't think Hillary is. I don't really know. But I don't think so. I don't think she's... But it would make a lot of sense if she was, because technically. They don't let a lot of non-Jews get that powerful, but Bill Clinton is, and Bill Gates is as well, and Hillary, of course, and but they're just the figureheads that are put into power that will fall. They're put in power positions that are tedious because the Antichrist wants to be put into a power position that isn't tedious. So these guys have to make that position. So they're all exposed and they're all disposable. Klaus Schwab, all of them. Until they make that position available that rules the world. Once that position's available, then the Antichrist will show itself. I know a lot of people thought it would be Trump, but no, again, he was just there to make smart people as pissed off as stupid people. Make smart people as disheartened with the system as the stupid people. And to make smart people hate the stupid people. Because right now, I don't hate you guys, but I mean, like, I definitely have a lot of animosity towards you, for sure. I think you're all morons. And I have no respect for anybody who's not out doing research and trying to learn things. In this day and age, like, you should be able to go and show yourself some approval. Like, find things that are actually real. Discern through them. Look at both sides. Know that the truth's probably somewhere in the middle. Or, if it's a political thing, the truth isn't anywheres in there. Right? If it's the left and the right, the truth is gone. Doesn't even need. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. So it's gone. They don't need that. They don't want that. They don't want you to know anything real, because then if you knew one thing, it would lead to another and another and another and another. That's why you're told not to read the Book of the Jews, right? It's like the Bible is like Cliff Notes for the Book of the Jews. But if you knew everything that was in the Book of Jews, you would know that the white guys that are pretending to be the Jews are the Edomites, and that the Jews are somebody else. Right? We all think the Edomites lost and the Jews are still around, but it's the opposite. Right? We know the Edomites, they're right there. They're calling themselves Jews. It's the Jews that are all lost. Right? Now, with some investigation and some thought and discernment and knowledge, you can actually find them. Find the true Hebrews and know that. Look through Deuteronomy, read the curses, and then look to see who has those curses on them. Look through all the Bible, look at the blessings that Esau and Jacob got, and then look around the world. Right? And if Jacob's not following God, Esau's going to be in control, and Jacob's going to be a slave to him. So if there's slaves, that's Jacob. And if there's slaves, then there's got to be masters. The masters are going to be Esau. If Jacob's with God, there won't be slaves. There'll be happy servants. There's a big difference. Anyway, my half hour's up. Have a great day.